Now, everybody can hear us.
Woo woo.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
The hammering light soon.
Love you. Mean it.
I'm just building it.
We are on the player's downfall map.
That's what, yeah. It's under images, correct? Yes.
Yeah, if you click
Yes.
on the bottom one, to toggle over to shared, you should have a smaller list to choose.
Oh, can I get the or where's the Sirenscape link?
Oh, I'm not running it because it's always fucked up. So
Okay.
not a sponsor.
Always fucked up.
Because if we were, it would work.
Yeah, I am a slightly disgruntled customer though, in that I literally fucking paid for that sound pack, so the fact that it doesn't work irritates me.
Dude, I gave them like more than $100 over a few years in sound packs, and the only way we can make it work is if there's it's weird and convoluted and it stopped working.
Right, it's always a hack. That's the problem.
Right.
Like even the way it's integrated into Fantasy Grounds is still a fucking hack.
It's still a fucking hack. Yeah. And you know what's really stupid? Like super dumb? I own the giant ass mega pack of sounds that is related to the adventure we're playing right now.
Yeah, so do I actually.
And it's like a mega pack. It's like 5 or 6 tabs.
Yeah, it's there's literally chapter specific sound sets and audioscapes. Like it's actually really cool when it works.
Yeah, it's dope. It's just I can't use it. And what the fuck?
We just have to be sitting at a table and we actually have someone playing the DJ on the tablet.
Right, exactly.
I'll see you guys in Los Angeles in a couple of months.
Yeah, right. We're gonna have to set up a dope con.
Well, no, I was going to line it up with the next Strategicon because they do 3 a year and they're always on the 3-day weekend.
Yeah. No. You sidecar that. Yeah, our con isn't big enough to solo. Yeah.
No, but if we all meet up and you literally fly into LAX and take a tram to the hotel, and that's you don't have to visit any more of Los Angeles if you don't like to.
Right. Which makes sense because it's Los Angeles. So.
Because it's all of the salient. Everyone except I guess Watts have grown up here.
Yeah.
We have no reason.
I can honestly say point blank, I have little to no interest to ever going into LA.
La Brea Tar Pits is pretty fucking dope.
Oh, there is cool shit in LA. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that
LA itself is not what's cool.
10 cities, LA is probably not on it,
Yeah. Absolutely not. I'd rather visit Boston.
Venice is pretty sick. Oh, you know what?
I disliked
Boston. I did not like Boston at all.
It's
Boston
probably West Coast bias, but Boston sucked.
I gotta give a little pushback. Are you talking?
Was great.
Are you guys talking about city of LA or LA proper, like the area? The area
we were saying if we were going to meet up at the con that is at LAX, there would be no reason for most of us to go tripping around in the city. And even if Watts flew in or Pole flew in for that, they could literally get a tram to the hotel from from LAX and not have to experience Los Angeles.
Yeah, if they still.
And I'd be okay with it because I don't want to deal with all of that traffic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
The con, though, if you climb up on the roof of the building, you can just look, and the only thing you can see off to the southwest, sort of towards the coast, is LAX. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, right. All right, do we all have the map open?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. It's for the very top.
Do you see yourselves on the map?
Yeah.
I bet I can if I look around.
Jory Didlington.
I do see Jory.
I do see myself on the map, yeah. Oh yeah, the building's on fire. I forgot about that.
Well, yeah, it's mostly put out.
I just saw that episode of Red Dwarf last week.
Nice.
Just throw it out.
That reminds me, I did a test today on AI upscaling 480p video, and I used as my source material the first episode of Red Dwarf.
Nice. Did it work out?
Yeah, actually really well. But not what's the best way to put it? But not in a way that you would like notice. Like I'm actually really impressed by how subtle but super effective it was.
Nice.
The only problem is it strips all the fucking audio out of the video.
Not as much as I thought there was going to be.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I can actually see the
And my mic is still
machination.
working, so it's not that bad.
I can see the machination that would sync the audio and all that up, but it's another whole. It's a whole different.
Yeah, I own
machine, you know.
I own Premiere, so if this was a thing I was willing to do manually, I could fix that myself.
There, yeah.
But the other thing was that it turned an 800 megabyte DVD rip into a 20 gigabyte file.
Holy fucking cow! Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
All that lost information from the JPEG compression, right?
It was mostly
All that AI generated 4K frame. Right?
4K frame for sure.
Yeah, sorry, 1044p was what I upscaled it to, but yeah.
Still, yeah, a lot of data.
Yeah. Still, it was super cool to see it work. Also, it took fucking forever. Like, took longer than the actual episode.
Wow, that's more.
Which is rare these days, you know?
More burnt.
Okay, it is YOLO's turn. We are technically still in turn order. There is still a fire in the southwest corner of the main circle, and I believe some amount of the northwestern wall of that same circle is still on fire. And Phalian, I can't remember if you just put out that fire or if you are just about to put out the fire that you're standing next to.
I think
my girlfriend does not like my witch's brew.
Oh.
I'm drinking traditionally served yerba mate recently.
Uh-huh.
So like what that involves is basically you take about half of your gourd's worth of ground up yerba, which is usually there's a ratio between how fine the powder can be and like how much bits are there, and that will determine how sweet or bitter your yerba is going to be. It's also going to determine how much caffeine is ingested. Basically, you're working with surface area, right? So traditionally, you shake it up in the cup, and then using the palm of your hand, right, to cover up one side, you turn it upside down, and you're just organizing the particulate so that you can create a mound to one side of your cup. And you then have a special spoon called the bombilla. The bombilla has a strainer on the other end, so you're not sucking up tea leaves and shit like that. And you stick that in the end of the cup that doesn't have the mound that you've just created. And then sort of like how in a tea ceremony, it's you pour the water over the tea multiple times. You're supposed to have your yerba mate over an hour, a 2-hour period, depending how big your gourd is. And you pour over the mountain or the mound in order to re-up your stash and your flavor.
Huh,
but it's super bitter. It's not like the what is it, Gayanki fruit stuff that you get in a can, which is fucking delicious. But this is I don't know. This is like the coffee of yerba mate, right? The espresso of yerba mate. And it's very bitter at first, but once you start drinking it, you can start picking out the different tastes. And I'm trying to find a brand. So what I did, Torregue, Paladito. Now I have Cruz de Malta. I've done 2 Argentinian, 1 Uruguayan, and then fucking the one that I have coming now is called Canarias, and Canarias, I believe, is
I'm waiting until we get El Dictator.
That's funny.
Totalitario.
I mean, it's all South American, so depending on what country. Where's this one from? This one is Uruguay. Uruguay likes their Likes their yerba mate a little bit sweet. I've noticed.
Authoritario.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's that many regional differences.
Yeah, it's really just preparation.
Like 3 different kinds that I've tried that you've got. The 3 different kinds all have unique characteristics. That's fair. There's fire.
Yeah. So, fire. Like I was saying, northwestern wall, part of it is still on fire. Southwestern wall, part of it is still on fire. Yolo, you had just grabbed a bucket, if I recall. Faerly, back to the question I was asking. I didn't hear your answer earlier. Did you just put out that fire, or did you just get there to put out that fire?
I thought I just put it out. I can't remember what that marker indicates, though.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Maybe we just forgot to delete it last time?
Maybe. What was I putting it out
black? So that's you or Jory. That might have been Jory's marker. That might not be yours.
Might have been.
You picked up the coal in the box.
I did, actually.
Yeah, so did Faerly. In fact, I think you have a couple in your item box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you haven't put out the fire yet. Because I know Yolo went to get a bucket because he was down there before. All right. Whatever had happened is happening. So Yolo, it is your turn.
Fantastic. I'm in a room. There are those little sentient coals.
They are all at this point contained, I believe. All 6 of them have been dealt with.
All 6 of them. What is this place then? I'm going to poke around while there's still chaos brewing.
I don't see them in my inventory. Did you add them?
I did not. So, if you did not, then they are phantom coals.
What would they have been called?
Phantom coals.
Cool. Yeah, it doesn't look like Jory has one.
I want to say I had 2 or 3. Right?
The one got thrown in the lake. If
I have none.
That's probably why I don't have one, because my whole plan was to throw the one I had in the lake.
Right, but if you recall, you were persuaded instead to put it in your item box.
Oh, you're right, because it would just go out or whatever, and we would just have it.
That said, in your item box, I do not see an animated coal.
I wouldn't have done it myself.
Oh, it's not my job to update your character sheet. So I don't know how you expect it to accurately reflect your state in the game then.
No, it's because we're playing Fantasy Grounds where I can't do any of that stuff. I can just see.
That's a complete and total lie.
Wait, I can add things to my inventory? Oh, yeah, I can add things to my inventory. No, never mind.
No, thanks for backing me up. I wanted that.
No. There are things that I can add shit to my inventory willy-nilly. The only reason why I was questioning is because there have been times where he has given us magic items, and I was all like, wait a minute, though.
I do distribute your loot for you, but that's all stuff that I've prepared in it.
No, right? that was where my confusion was.
If you decide to pick up a rock on the road, it ain't my job to mark down on your character sheet that you picked up a rock on the road. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't sure how to add it to my inventory.
I should definitely ask you permission, though, if I'm going to be pedantic.
I'm going to ask.
So, as a quick tutorial, if you look at the inventory tab on your character sheet, up at the very top where it says equipment.
Cruise the Mola. I like that. It's fucking great.
Button.
I've done it, and I made a few things that are blank. Now what?
Yes, so as I was about to say before I got into those details,
Sorry,
Jory,
boss.
in fact, you have very clearly hit that button many, many, many times.
3.
So if you click on the dragon on one of those empty, it brings up a window.
None of these buttons says destroy or delete.
No, that's not the point. I'm not teaching you how to destroy or delete anything right now.
No, but I have 3 blank items.
You have more than 3.
I can only see 3.
I see everything. So it's probably just because as a DM I can add anything I fucking want, so I probably just see way more of the blanks than you do.
I just see 3 and I'm trying to delete them and can't figure out how.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to delete them right now. I'm showing you how to turn one of them into something useful for you.
Yeah, this one's gonna be my fiery rock,
so
fiery rock.
You can just mouse over it, click on it, and type in something and just give it a name. Or you can click the red dragon head at the end of its entry in your inventory list.
Yes.
It will open up the item window wherein you can put in significantly more detail.
Yeah. Subtype, type, rarity.
So if you wanted to do those things, like set a weight, if it had a weight, and I specified that for you, that kind of thing, you would do it in there.
The way.
If you want to delete an item, the button next to the green cross is a little slanty circle up at the top there.
Yes.
If you click it, the list goes into edit mode. And you will notice that the red dragon at the end has now turned into a red disc with a white line in it. This is the delete item button.
Oh,
So
there it
if
is.
you
There
want
it
to
is.
delete them, you click it
Kablam,
once
confirm.
and then confirm. I will delete all these empties out of
Ever fiery coal is way up there, so
inventory.
I can just play.
Oh, this is YOLO's. This is not Jory's. That's
Look
why.
at that. Wonk.
Don't delete my shit.
I'm deleting your empties.
Wonk.
My what?
Drag this guy
Empties.
here. Wonk.
Empty what?
Item entries.
Oh. What if I want them there? What if those empty things are forgotten things?
Okay, well, fair enough.
I'm joking. I have really no idea what I'm
It's your
saying.
character sheet, man. I'm not gonna interfere.
Oh my god, why did it duplicate like that? That's not good at all. I'm trying to drag one of those things into the item box.
No, don't drag one of those things in the item box.
Oh my
Click
god,
the
that's
red
amazing.
dragon to open its item box. Oh, you want to put it in the item box that you're actually holding. My bad.
Yes.
I understand now. Okay, why do you have 2 item boxes?
Dumbness.
Did you know there were like pop-up tents for your bed?
Yes, I've actually seen those, yeah.
That's fucking amazing. I want one.
I mean, you could just get a pop-up tent and stick it over your bed.
No, these ones
No,
go
that-
around your bed like sheets so that they pop up around. Like, you know how I was saying that I wanted a blackout curtain for my bed?
Dude,
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
This is a pop-up tent for your bed.
awesome. My claustrophobia
Wow.
thinks you're amazing.
Jory.
Why? The whole space up there is huge, and it's also a nylon tent.
Mm-hmm.
Jory.
Yes,
Stay on target.
you fixed it.
I didn't fix anything, so no.
I fixed nothing.
The item box of holding is gone. The
Yes.
duplicate, I mean. But the
But
ever
your
fiery
original-
coal needs to go back in there, yeah.
Right. So where is your ever fiery coal? Okay,
Right.
3rd row from the top. I see it. Do you see how there is a location column?
Yeah, I do.
In
You
that
should put a location for
column,
everything.
type item. and it should
Oh, look, dude. Bonk. Did it.
You should have a location for everything. Torso, head, hips, pouch, leather bag.
I know what you're saying. I need to rotate my lamb leg. BRB.
Yep.
So yeah, what's this place like? What's the room like? Is there any like trapdoors or shit that I can, go through, look through? I'm feeling a little bit klepto. Is there anything interesting?
No. At this point, it's mostly a wreck. It looks like it was a workshop before somebody unleashed these coals on it. The structure is still pretty sound, but looking up, it's a high vaulted ceiling. There are some clear counters and benches around the walls. You see the remains of wooden tools, maybe a saw blade or two. So you think that it was primarily a woodworking shop, though there are signs of what's the best way to put it? There are signs of what you might call tinkerer's work as well, in that there are several amazingly still untouched in the fire sources of small flame, like if you were doing jewelry work or work on malleable, low temperature metals. There's also, some jeweler's tools, stuff like that, but there's no signs of craft or jewelry. What little actual goods and the like are around seem mostly to be tarp of the type that the balloon outside is made of.
Well, cute.
Yep. Your guess is this is the workshop where that balloon and perhaps others are produced or were produced until it recently caught fire.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, well, then I'm just going to sort of walk into the other room where Watts is and look around exasperatedly and then look at the guy who was in there. And I'm like, damn, man, looks like you owe us one. And I give him a smile.
30 minutes.
How you doing?
Now.
Name's Iolo.
Just to point a fact out, because I think it's kind of funny in a for folks from the 80s in a sledgehammer kind of way. The building is still on fire.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely fantastic.
Directly to your southeast, there is a small fire, and about almost directly to your northwest, the building is also still on fire.
Oh, if that's absolutely obvious, then I'm gonna go and try to burn out the fire and say, "Damn, man, you need to keep care of your workshop. You owe us one."
As I recall, last turn you picked up a bucket with the intention of filling it with water and using it to put out fires.
Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds like an actionable cause. I also broke in through the wall over there.
Indeed.
There should be a way for me to get water and then to dump it on that fire to the south. You said right there. Do something like that maneuver.
So okay, hold on. Let's do this one at a time. So if you were to move one tile southeast of where you are right now, basically the top of this bench right here.
Yeah.
It is on fire.
Okay. Well, then I'll throw some water on that.
All right. So the closest way to get to water from where you are, realistically, would be to go out the front door to where that frog and Jory are.
Then I'll do that.
What's your speed?
Quite a bit of movement if I sprint. It's 60. There and back again. A hobbit's tail.
Exactly.
I might not be able to throw it.
Oh, yeah. Well, so there is also here, I'll repurpose this thing here. Hold on, grab the other edge so it's small again. There's also a fire right here. Ish. How do I make you smaller?
Oh yeah, to the north? That's what you said.
Yeah, right about there.
Okay. Well then I can go there and back again. I still might not be able to cast fire upon anything because I did spend an action to gather water.
Yeah, can't dump the bucket yet.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, all right.
But I will repurpose my, well, you owe me one to, damn, you got to take care of your shop. Well, you owe us one.
Yeah.
That's
okay, Dirk.
now you owe me.
Also a bucketed. He's gonna come in here. See that you've got that one.
Frogs are our friends.
Not food.
Not food.
Gonna jump lots.
Wasn't it like a magical furnace that we discovered or something? Like, how did this go wrong?
So
It was
it already got going wrong when we got here.
When we were here, it was going out of control, right?
We arrived basically, and then we came to find that shit was already going downhill. They don't have a fire brigade. They don't have any protocols for this. The furnace that these things are normally supposed to be in broke containment.
Right.
And
I remember even that we came here
the,
knowing that these things were gonna be this way, and then they were this way.
The soggy court appeared to be a bunch of floofy bureaucrats, or wish themselves to be, or maybe are that in engineers or something.
See, the soggy court.
Maybe they like 1800s era, sort of like aristocrat inventor types or something, but they're just really not great at it. Also, I'm pretty sure that the hag lives in the middle of this place, and they're kind of the stewards for her or something.
So they're all like the judge of the wall, The
judge of
they
the
may
wall.
have titles that are more superficial than anything.
The judge in the wall, I said.
Oh, the big butthole.
Right.
Cock and balls. Well, balls and butthole. There's really no cock involved at all. It's just balls and a butt. Yeah, it's just balls and an asshole. And legs. Big legs.
Right.
Wait, are you talking about the anti-Mickey over there? The structure?
That's funny. I was wondering if anybody was going to notice it's kind of a secret Mickey.
Yeah, no, I caught that when we first got here. It's like, what the fuck is with this Mickey?
Is that what you call him nowadays? A crypto Mickey?
Is that what they call him?
Well, no, I'm coining it here. And if you didn't hear it
Mickey
first, then you hadn't heard it before. Now I'm coining it. It's a crypto Mickey nowadays. It was a secret Mickey or a hidden Mickey back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. But now
you can make your own iterations of Steamboat Mickey because the copyright has expired on that one.
Done yet? It's not done yet. Soon though.
Yeah, January 1st.
Right, January 1st.
Right. I'm like, don't get yourself in trouble.
Soon, not yet. I haven't started drawing him doing naughty things just yet.
Also, just offhand, if you're ever tripping on psychedelics at Disneyland and you need a place to kind of mellow out, quiet down for a sec, there's a little theater on Main Street that always has air conditioning and is running Steamboat Mickey basically back to back to back to back. So you just go in there and chill, kind of mellow out. I mean, don't ask me how I know.
He lived in Florida. That's all we need to know.
No, it's more
presidents.
Whoa, Watts, bite your fucking tongue. I have never been to Florida. I grew up in Orange County, California, where the proper and original Disneyland is.
The advisory is more like, when was the last time you did this? Because I don't know if that theater does that sort of thing in that place anymore.
They still do. I know they do. The Steamboat Willie Theater is going to be running until fucking Disneyland closes.
I never say never now that it's out of copyright, for example.
Okay, I suppose that's true, but I mean, the other thing that was cool about it is it's dark and air conditioned, and like very few people like go there because it's not a store. It's just running some cartoons, and you paid so much to go there to Disneyland. Are you really going to go chill for like half an hour and spend all that time in the dark watching a black and white Mickey Mouse cartoon? I mean,
I have.
I have.
If you're needing to decompress, absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I have, but I have because I used to literally go to Disneyland twice a month. Like during the time where it was only $20 for locals, I was there all the time. And been there on psychedelics. And if you want a place where it's not so hot and it's nice and dark and no one's looking at you and you can just sit,
you're not going to get vertigo like Circle Vision. So
right, yeah, well, exactly. And Circle Vision's a bit much, and it's not there anymore. But Circle Vision is a bit much. You do that when you're peaking.
Circle Vision's not there anymore?
No, it's gone. Circle Vision's been gone for a while.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was gone the last time I was there on psychedelics. So, pretty sure the last time you and I were there on Psychedelics, we went to that's what you do.
Wow, 1997. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, total tangent. Anyway, yeah, so the
Look, Secret
proprietor
Mickey, anyway.
or somehow person who at least seems to be taking the responsibility for all of this flashes the last fire in this room with a bucket, looks around, sees that there is still some fire in the other room, kind of sighs to himself, takes a few steps back as if he's clearly bound to head for more water.
Now you owe me.
Yeah. As you say that, Yolo, he looks up at you and he kind of, I mean, he's not the most expressive being on the planet. He's really got a big, broad sort of,
froggy face.
Yeah, as I say, even calling it a grimace is a bit wrong. But I mean, he's got this sort of like dour line for a mouth, He's obviously kind of beaten down, but he just sort of shrugs, and that is his turn.
Shrug. You don't get to shrug about this, bitch. You owe me. Hospitality.
Meanwhile, the bullywug in the voluptuous tights,
Voluptuous tights.
looks around the room, looks at our boy, for a moment, kind of huffs, deep in the jowls. Says, well, looks like all this is under control then, and walks out.
Out of control or in control?
Under control.
Quitter.
There's a fire
Faerly,
down
it is
here.
your turn. Yeah, we actually hadn't really hashed that out, to be fair.
I think I did get the cold that was jumping around here last. So then I would shout out, grab a bucket on the way out. You're not done.
Quitter.
About how big's the fire? It's too big to just poof away.
Yeah,
that was
probably.
what we determined.
So, yeah, so you had figured out at one point that there was a set of like shelves that was probably storing stuff here, and most of that is at this point merrily ablaze. So it's probably a good, 4, 5, 6, maybe even feet wide, and probably just as tall. You know what? I'd still call that a 5-foot square. You could probably prestidigitate that out.
Okay. Yeah, then I would probably just poof it.
Poof it.
Done.
All right.
You must do it because you can poof it.
While that's going on, how scorched is this room over here?
So this room, even though it is not burning and wasn't burning when any of you entered the building, is very clearly the most scorched. So, what is not visible on the map is what remains of what they called the furnace. To your eye, that is perhaps an ambitious description of what appears to be the slag left over of a large steel box. I hesitate to even call it a stove, but kind of stove-like in construction, in that it almost has a cast iron door that you can see is completely melted. The interesting thing about that is that what's left of the box is also clearly inscribed with runes. So, what is your arcana?
Well, my arcana is...
I'm proficient in arcana.
It's
I have a plus
it's
one. I'm
not
not
proficient. It's just +1.
That's enough for you to understand that they're wards. You don't really know the like specifics of the magic, but like you could probably infer from there that they were meant to contain what was ever inside.
Oh, yes, like fire.
Yes. Instead of staying in, it burst forth. Golly, it's like a certain fountain. I wonder who would do that to them. Okay, so upon seeing that, is there anything that does not look like it's been scorched, but looks like it's in pristine, unbroken condition, despite all the fire?
No. Those two barrels that are on the map though are relatively intact. I mean, they're scorched, but they're not broken.
I'm gonna step over to here or thereabouts. I can't quite stand there, but kind of adjacent to them. And
Yeah.
can
Also,
I?
I will say, as you cross the floor, it's pretty obvious that the floor is not as strong as it used to be, but it seems to hold your weight fine. You don't think you'd want to put the whole party in this room, though.
Neat.
No.
You think if I were to jump up and down, it would just break?
In the room that Phalion is in, probably.
Damn.
So, can I tell what's in these barrels, or would I have to pry them open?
You would probably have to pry them open, though. If you want to make an investigation roll, there is things you could probably learn by looking carefully and poking around before you did.
Sure.
Nice roll.
Yeah, so the smaller of the two barrels is kind of like pony keg sized. And as you look at the top, it's all very scorched, but there is a distinct like white rime around the edges of the top of the cask. And as you like proceed to visually inspect it and you look down at the bottom, you realize that it appears to be sitting in a small pool of like tin or lead slag that has solidified. It has no obvious source, so your guess is that it probably melted out of the barrel.
Oh, cute. Anybody who's been working here has been giving themselves cancer.
Well, they were, so, I mean, realistically, you could probably assume that there was, like lead shot or tin ingots or something similar in that
Oh, yeah.
cask, and that, when the coals escaped, they were hot enough to melt it.
So
Fucking
then,
completely poisonous.
Jesus, fuck.
would they be?
Yeah, it's all
Are
that
the
fucking tin, man.
are the barrels kind of stuck in place now, or is the stuff where the things have settled kind of charred so they'd be easy to kind of move and jiggle?
You would have to try to pry the barrel off the wood planks that it's on, or break those planks and try to carry it with you. The other possibility is you could the bands that held this thing together, you realize, are also gone. So it's really kind of just wood on metal. You could probably took the time and effort, pry the individual slats of what was a barrel off to reveal the hunk of metal inside,
Right. It when you were starting to talk about Orion, I was hoping it was like a barrel of cheese that was so cold that it was able to insulate itself during the fire. And then I would have taken that
No.
barrel, but it is not magic cheese, so I will just leave it alone. And I think that's about all I can do this turn.
Cool. The bigger of the two barrels, by the way, it does look like it's intact, and you could potentially carry it or roll it out.
I guess I
looking,
would. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, looking at it though, it doesn't look like you expect to be ruled by its contents. What little you can see, like between the charred slats on the outside, it looks like it's probably filled with some kind of junk, maybe even like literal rocks.
Yeah, I figure it's just full of workshop shit in here, so that's fine. I'm at peace with not trying to loot the place any further, and I will not click the button, because then you might also click the button, or we talk about clicking the button and things occur, so I'll let you click the button.
Sounds good. Jory.
Diddlington.
That is my name.
You stand in a until just 6 seconds ago burning building. Now it is just smoky and ashy building. You are holding a bucket of water in your hands. It doesn't seem particularly useful anymore.
Hey. All right. Hey, you guys. You frog dudes. You need to get a little wet. Like, be nice for your skin. It's pretty dry and hot in here right now.
Hey, frog, too.
I have some water. You're a frog.
Y'all want to get wet?
It's dry in here. Y'all want to get wet?
So the one directly
Brilliant.
to your
Dude, this guy's name is Soggy. Come on.
he's from the Soggy Court.
Oh,
yeah,
That's his fact.
Soggy
from the
COU.
Yeah.
Soggy Court.
Duke Hickory. Well,
Expanjo Combat Tracker.
Yep, Duke Icky. Yep. He's the brother of the Duchess Sticky, I think.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
He's sticky.
Stop mocking the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Sticky,
They were
together.
a great band.
Jory, Jory,
That's why I smelled you when I came in the room. No, I didn't.
Jory, boss,
What?
you really need
What?
to tell these guys like what will happen to them if they work with tin and fucking lead.
Oh, it makes you crazy.
You should tell them to wear a mask, some PPE.
Something like that, but also like they're frog people. Like they're the space between their penis and their anus is going to be shrinking like really rapidly very soon.
Wow, you sure you want to say that out loud to them? You're going to cause some existential panic.
Shh. I said that to you. It's cool.
We're across the room from each
I
other.
said it in American English. They didn't understand that.
That's
Can we a language switch from common to American English?
I'm pretty sure we can.
Did you?
Yeah, no, I'm asking. Yeah, I'm asking.
What are your intelligences?
Dude, my int is 12.
My int is an 11.
I'm about average.
Yeah, you could probably switch to American English. Like, you'd probably have to think about it, though.
Yeah, no. Well, thinking on to what he said, I'm going to be like,
well. Like we came across, who we are, right? So, like,
going to be like, are you sure you want to say that in front of them?
also, so hey,
You're
here's the
all
point.
you're all like in common. You're like, "Hey, frog boy," and then over there in English, you're like, "Yo, wait." Ixnay on the wrong fay, okay?
Stay on the wrong way, brother. Please stop. That's hilarious. Stay on the wrong fray. I have this bucket of water. See.
That's
I say that
great.
in common. I have this bucket of water, see? It's trying to be helpful.
Yeah, as you say that, the bullywog with the ratted mutton chops turns to look at Duke, looks back at both of you, and says, "Well, it looks like you've got your hands full," and leaves with haste.
Yep. Flop, 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 flop.
Working with this metal can cause health problems if you don't wear protective. Whatever.
Dude, it's all their skin. Dude, look at them. Their whole skin is a mucus membrane, all of it. Like, they're fucked, man.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't tell them. You're obligated to at least tell them.
There's a reason why frogs are the bellwether for, like, chemical...
Moist?
Yes.
You look at the skin, it's shiny.
It's shiny, yes.
Who am I to tell their equivalent of daguerre not to make daguerreotypes? That's rude of me. Let them invent on their own. If they
Sure
gotta
enough,
burn
but
coal, let them burn coal.
I'm saying we came across from a culture that knows
Okay.
very well that amphibians are the bellwether for pollution.
Oh no,
in
that's not
your
what I'm saying.
environment.
I'm saying you're ethically obligated to tell them that this is not healthy.
They're going to chelate a bunch of
I
metal.
don't know that. I don't know
the
that.
environment
Bully
that they're
was.
in.
It's going to make the space between their penises and anuses smaller.
I mean, they're working for a hag, so they're probably aware that their conditions are hazardous.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to turn to the Duke that I don't know is a Duke, the guy whose house was on fire, and I'm going to be like,
It's Duque, actually, Duque.
you know these conditions are hazardous.
Don't you mean haggardous, sir?
Oh God,
Well done, Watts. Well done.
that was great, Watson. That better have been in character, Snipe.
Well, it is. That's the cool thing about this adventure, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so Duke Icrind looks around and he says, well, I guess at least the fires are out.
Down white third world.
He sort of sighs heavily to himself. And he says, well, I do appreciate the help. YOLO, since you were the one bitching about rewards and owing people, he turns to you and he says, I suppose that help does deserve some recompense. And he takes from his own, let's call it breast, because he's kind of wearing like a smock more than any kind of like civilized clothes. Most of the folks you've seen are dressed like kind of foppishly, like not well, like a little bit slovenly, but dressed as if they were trying to dress royally but didn't quite have the capability, but this guy's just wearing kind of like a simple leather tunic, like I said, like a workshop smock. But there is pin to it, you realize, as he picks it off the smock. A small, looks like a golden, like, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but it looks kind of like a fly, for lack of a better way to put it. And he puts it in your hand. And as he does, it shakes a little. And he says, you should wear that when you see the king. It'll let him know that you're someone we can trust."
I'll wear it now. I was merely joking. I'm sorry. And I'll hold out my hand. Call me Yolo, or Miguel, or Verde, whichever you prefer.
He takes your hand and does a sort of like half bow thing at the same time that he shakes it, and he says, Duke Icrind, formerly of the Balloon Works.
Absolutely. That's a mightily dangerous workshop you have here, Duke. I would be willing to help with that if you need such. These are my friends. I'll let them introduce themselves. I see Faerly walking in.
Oh, well.
I'm Watson. What caused the coal to run around?
Good question, he says. There's no way it could have just gotten loose. Somebody had to leave the door open, but I was the only person on shift today. Everybody else is out patching the balloon.
Doors melted.
I didn't leave it open.
Doors melted. The whole thing's melted. I see some runes in there. That looks like it protects something, but there's this well that was putting water, keeping water contained and was nice and clean. It had a bunch of protective runes on it, but then those got reversed and then it did the opposite. I wonder if that's what happened here. Instead of the runes doing what it's supposed to contain the coals, contain the heat, it decided to reverse itself by some malign will and whim, and instead increase the heat to the point where it melted and let the fire out. Now, that's a terrible circumstance, and I would hate for the two things to be connected. I would maybe have a hunch as to who or how this may be occurring. But I have to ask, how did you get the furnace? Did you make it, or was it perhaps a gift from somebody?
Oh, there's that kind of work is beyond even me. No, that was a loan from our esteemed
Benefactor?
host. Hmm.
When you say esteemed host, which one do you mean? I've heard that refer to maybe a couple different people.
Our lady in the cottage.
She is one of a coven of 3.
He nods.
And the gift that they loaned to you failed. How long has it been here and operating as a loan?
He kind of looks up at the rafters as he thinks, and he says, "Oh, at least 2-3 seasons. Never failed before."
2-3
Oh, there's
seasons. It hasn't even been a full year then.
No, we only converted this shop to the balloon works when I was entrusted with the duty of building the flotilla for the lady.
I see.
Wanted
And
frog?
Yes.
I see.
I'm also a frog.
I think it's a bit of an odd sort of thing. Do you know who the lady in the cottage got it from, or did she make it herself?
We're back. I gotta check something.
Go ahead.
Yep, you got lamb to worry about.
Mhm.
He shakes his head and he says,
What temperature should the
"I'm not sure. I never seen her work metal, but the magic is certainly within her realm.
Can you say it again?
To be honest, she wanted a task done and she gave us the tools. That's generally how her patronage works."
I see. I understand.
This might answer your question. It is a 1986 horror.
I don't know what's going on. There was some daemon whose voice was echoing. I don't know if you heard it there, but it was a little creepy. Anyhow, I think it's come and gone. This is a bit of an odd sort of thing to me, because I understand the importance of what has been asked of you and what the task is, and that it is within her capabilities to manufacture something like this. However, I wonder, because the lady of the cottage, as I learned from our hoppy folk over on the path not far from here, just down the river, is that she gets everybody's and everything's best, and she gets all the best. And so if she gets the best, why would she have to worry about making anything? She's already got the best, right? And so then it makes me think, what has been given to you is a gift from among the best. However, there may have been a little bit more maintenance or other requirements to its operation being steady and reliable that unfortunately were not gathered along with the best furnace in the land here. And so that might have been the cause, a lack of instructions and proper training to manage this device, resulting in catastrophic failure and seemingly a quite a large setback. Surely now you can understand this was not your fault. This was the device melted. This wasn't anybody's fault unless a saboteur specifically caused this to occur. Now,
as you say saboteur, his eyes bulge a little and he kind of looks around the room, doing his very best to hold still, to not bodily react. When he does finally acknowledge your words, he basically nods and he says, "Well, she did give us instructions. They were pretty simple. Clean, don't leave anything on top that's going to melt. Oh, and the top would always be hot. That was the other warning, of course. Don't put your hands on the top." She didn't really have any other instructions beyond that.
there was no protocols for a breach of containment?
Shouldn't have been possible.
Shouldn't. Of all the tales that I've heard and things I've witnessed myself of when something is set up with the best of plans and intentions and it should be infallible, but sure enough it fails, and golly, sometimes it fails catastrophically like this. That's quite a little tragedy for a little bit of a setback here. Well, at the same
like
time,
I said, these are monstrously dangerous conditions.
Yeah, I should put it this way. Think of almost as if not perhaps a dragon or a beholder, but perhaps a fire elemental, a large and vicious fire elemental were to be used as the fire source for something. Surely you would want that to remain contained, but at the same time, I don't really know a lot of fire elementals, but the ones who I know, especially when I've asked about the subject, have always told me, if you keep me contained in something, I am going to do every last bit of everything I can to try to destroy it from the inside.
Yeah, I'm not going to be your pal.
And so they'll manifest things that they didn't know they could manifest in order to break the runes in containment. I'm not saying these little coals that came jumping out were exactly the case here, but if it's just cast iron and they're jumping around all furiously, all you need to do is beat cast iron up a little bit and you've deformed it.
Yeah, but I have a vague memory that we knew why the magic was happening when we got here. We knew there was something going on, right?
Oh.
No,
Tissue.
I think we arrived and got off the boat and all of a sudden saw there was a fire and just jumped to it. I don't think we actually knew a reason.
Really? I thought we were chasing. For some reason, I remember being like, "Yep," and then these things are animated or something. Like I remember feeling very justified.
No, I think we're just surprised to be the heroes in need at the precise moment, which is kind of an odd sort of circumstance too, because what would correlate with us visiting that would cause warding protection like this to rupture and fail? Surely it wouldn't be to try to impede us from using the aerial transit system once it's working. That would be awfully rude. But I don't know what it could be. Golly. I've been talking here for a while, and I don't think I've even introduced myself. Hi, my name is faerly Ember. From a faraway place, from a people you've never heard of, and that's totally fine, because I'm here
now. He takes a moment to give you a courtly bow, and he says, "Indeed, indeed, indeed."
I love that these
he turns.
bullywugs are essentially fucking Mr. Toads.
Yeah.
Like,
with you bearing the title of Duke.
Perfect visual.
Right? Mr. Toads. What is it? Mr. Toads.
He nods.
Wild Ride. Yeah.
Bows again. kind of flourishes.
And then first, that you have a certain rank and responsibility and such, would there be anyone that would want you to lose said rank and responsibility and privileges?
Oh, well, the court is certainly lively. I don't have any specific enemies, if that's what you're getting at.
It is
Not quite
because
radical, I assume.
well, I was wondering because enchants like this don't typically just fail. Like there's typically a start of the process, if you will. I was just trying to figure out if possibly this was someone's plot to have a shakeup of the court, if it as you were.
Nice.
Oh, he says.
Just DM me.
That's a lofty accusation. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand how something like this could possibly happen, because your patron gave you this gift. I would doubt they would give you a faulty gift to take care of the task that you've been told to take care of.
Right. Which is what makes me worry that the gift or loan or whatever it may be that was provided to you was not understood to be as dangerous as it was at the time it was provided to you. I'm not saying that you didn't know that they might not have known. And otherwise they would have probably given you some sort of additional ward or protection to make the building itself fireproof. After all, they are very acutely talented in magic, if I'm not mistaken. Surely that's not without their capabilities to be able to make a building in a rather damp place fairly fireproof. Seems easy to me, but
Was that nice?
you know, I deal in a different kind of magic. You know, I talk to squirrels and stuff.
Shakes his head sort of with a defeated weight on his shoulders as he does. And he says, well, it is my honor and responsibility to both administer and protect the balloon works. I would never have imagined to impose on the lady in such a way as to ask for such protection, but even if I had thought to, she made it pretty clear that the source of the heat was well contained.
This should not have happened, in other words.
I can't imagine that it would have happened even through neglect. That has never been a problem with her tools before.
And that means malicious intent
indeed.
from someone.
Right.
Possibly not from the court itself, but someone.
Yeah. No, that it's a setback, but you know, it seems like she's got things pretty well under control in this place. It seems like you've got all the time in the world to be able to rebuild and try again, though. In terms of handling this coals, do you have actually, you know, I have a question for you. Would you care to escort me now that the smoke has cleared a little back to the chamber so we can investigate the furnace a little bit further? And I should warn everybody, the floor ain't what it used to be. Be very, very gentle of foot.
The floor ain't what it used to be.
I wonder what's underneath the building.
He looks at you agog for a moment and he says, well,
push to talk.
Well, it's
Agog. Agog is a good word.
You guys are getting stuck at a door or something?
Yeah, stuck on the wall. Yep. That's why I was trying to navigate around it. That fucking wall. It's doing its job. That's a collider.
Well, I'm a big guy, so I'm just going to hang out in this room and peek in.
That's probably a wise idea.
I'm also a big guy, but I don't know that I'm.
You're a rabbit, though. Your body fat to
You're a
muscle.
rabbit.
No, you're a rabbit, though. Your body fat to muscle
There's no
ratio
fat on this
is yeah, exactly.
Very
If you
low,
would just let
exactly.
me fucking speak, I would say
Ruining
the
it. Ruining
things
it.
You're
that
ruining
you'd
it.
fucking be saying.
You're right. You're hilarious. And yes, by the way, cut as fuck in my rabbit body.
So as we can see here, it got hot enough to melt that supply. That little keg over there is worth of metal. It itself, of course, looks melted. It looks like the door was closed while it melted. Could you think of something that would have been set on top of it that could have been able to retain enough heat to get hotter than the metal and melt through it? Because I know there's a rule not to put anything on top, and I'm sure you've been very diligent about that, but is there anything in the shop you can think of that would have that sort of property?
No. I mean,
No.
I didn't
even
think
the
so.
leather would burn eventually, I suppose.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be something that would get hot enough to actually melt the metal itself, certainly if it's been enchanted. And so then, we can look at the runes inside here. The ones that aren't melted do look intact, but these things are delicate. All it takes is for one to fail and the whole thing fails. Can you tell me what it sounded like when it was first installed, and if the sound changed over the seasons?
The funniest thing, it almost sounded like music. He thinks about it for a second and he says, "Have you ever heard music made with hammers?"
Oh yes, it's lovely.
Dulcimer. You mean
That's
like
called
a
a dulcimer?
Do you mean like a dulcimer or like a
Clary?
Carillion?
Yeah, that is the word.
Trust my drunken rabbit mind.
I think he means more like a Carillion, but I don't think he would know what that is.
Hmm.
I mean, I only do because I'm not of this realm, right?
And
Right.
it
Do you
always
mean hammers hitting metal or hammers hitting strength?
Hey, good question, Watts. Way to sum that
hammers
up.
hitting metal.
Carillion.
okay.
Or
So,
marimba. But
did
a metal
it-
marimba. Xylophone. That's
Tell-
what you call
tell
it.
me
you know
about
from the
the-
metal that he's looking at that it's probably not like a steel drum or something. Like it's the metal's too thick for that timbre.
It's more like bong 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 bong
Yeah.
Like a xylophone or a marimba made of metal. Marimba is a xylophone just made of wood.
So,
Right. But
so,
but like one of those big ass xylophones, with like the thick strikers, right?
Hell yeah.
with this music, as you put it, did it remain about the same volume and speed and intensity from the day it was installed to the day it broke down?
Give or take. He nods. He says it was always a different tune, for lack of a better way to say it, but it was always at the same tempo.
Did the pitch increase over time by any chance?
No, not really.
Was there ever instructions about an upper limit to its heat production capacity?
Oh, quite specifically the opposite. In fact, we were assured it would be hot for as long as we could possibly need it.
Oh no, not necessarily hot for as long, but able to produce the amount of heat that you were drawing from it.
Flux capacity.
Certainly. We had no reason to believe it would ever run out.
No. I think what I'm saying
I'm
is,
sorry.
like, you know how, like, when you're cooking food, like, you have, like, a low heat setting to, like, gently heat the food, and then, like, a high setting to, like, really roast your food.
That's what I'm doing right now, in fact.
So,
No, we had no such control over the output. He shrugs.
Okay.
so it just put out a constant amount of consistent heat. Okay. Was there any part of the system that fed into it, like a pipe that could have gotten like backflow in a flood or something, for example?
No, most definitely not. He shakes his head. He says it was a complete unit. Winking to the camera.
Yes, indeed.
A container of the metal on top, let it melt, and then you were able to then utilize it?
Precisely. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The lady herself set its temperature, in fact, when she gave it to us.
Well,
This is quite peculiar.
this is.
If the lady possibly made this, I wonder if the lady is okay considering this is now, well, damaged.
Oh no, he shakes his head, sort of. He does the frog equivalent of furrowing his brows, which is basically rotating his eyes to be cross-eyed.
We've all seen Kermit. We've all seen Kermit.
And you know, and he says, no, we would know if something had happened to the lady. It's certainly my burden to bear this failure.
Nah, you weren't involved with it, man. That doesn't logically sit.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Again, this.
I genuinely feel bad because you have to report the fact that this has occurred. I was wondering,
Hold on. Let me just interject. If my patron gives me a spear that's supposed to be indestructible and tells me to go forth into battle, and I am fighting and fighting and fighting, this is a war that's going on for years, and one day that spear breaks. Like, come on, this was a spear that was never supposed to break. Now I'm sitting here with the shaft and you know, an end or wherever it broke, sitting there wondering, well, is the rest gonna break the next time? Do I just throw this thing away and grab something off the last person I killed?
We call that being shafted.
And so it seems like, as my friend pointed out, you have been shafted, perhaps, in this exchange, that you have been given something with a guarantee and a task, and it failed. And it failed catastrophically. It let out a bunch of little fire elementals that ruined the shop.
Hardcore failure.
I mean, that's beyond a failure. That's a catastrophe.
you remember
That would be
this was
as bad as if the spear didn't just break, but it shattered in such a way that the blade came and flew into my chest, and the shaft just became splinters all through my hands.
I demand work compensation. That's what I would do.
This is a rough situation. Don't put this burden on yourself. This is not your fault. I know you've been told that, you know, there's certain things and the court has these certain rules, but know in your heart of hearts, man, this was not your fault.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. He says he almost seems to get nervous the more you speak. He looks at you and he looks at Watson and Yolo through the doorway. And he says, "You're very kind to say so. But I were to offer one piece of advice, it would perhaps be not to speak ill of the lady in the cottage."
No, we're not speaking ill. We're just speaking honest truth.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate everything.
How we see things.
Says, talking over you. But I'm certain you have your own business to attend to, and as I said, this is my burden to bear. So please, and he sort of shoo in motion. Don't let me hold you up any longer.
Question
best
before
of
I
luck
go.
with the situation.
I have a spell that could possibly at least amend the shape, so she could re-enchant it.
Oh, are you going to try to cast mending on it?
Yes.
That's not gonna... Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the Duke shrugs and he says, I would not turn down the favor if you have magics that could help here.
Phelan, would you please be so kind? I am a fat boy. I'm not sure how much weight that floor can hold, and I don't wish to find out.
Yeah.
You could probably swap spaces, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that bad.
All I know is someone distinctly pointed out the floor was not all that good.
Yeah. Ain't what it used to be, indeed.
I would grab a hold of the item and cast mend.
Okay. Can you be a little bit more specific? What piece are you going to grab when you cast mending? Are you going to grab, for example, what's left of the box itself or what's left of the door?
I would try to move the pieces back together to where they could become mended into one, like they were supposed to be.
Okay. All right. That works. So in that case, when you cast mending, you do manage to mend what remains of one of the hinges. One of the rents in the door closes itself. However, the door does not reshape itself into proper form. Part of it remains slag, and the other hinge does not reassemble itself. It appears the damage is beyond your magic.
Well, at least they this won't go further. I am so sorry.
Could you, before we leave, perhaps direct us to where we can get a ride to the court proper?
I want to say that's just the building next door, to see the king, if I'm not mistaken.
Duke nods to that, kind of gestures behind him to the east, northeast, roughly.
Ah, that's easy.
And he says, right across the bridge, mind the heads.
Absolutely. I saw. They talk.
They do chatter on.
I guess they have a lot on their mind.
You have no idea, and I just leave.
Certainly time to think about it.
Awful good help you were, I say as I pass by.
I'll pray to my goddess that mercy is shined upon you.
Damn! I just JoJo walk all the way past after I say that, giving him a fucking, asshole look. I hope you think about this.
He seems to hurry on his way.
I have heard of a prayer.
AFK. He is listening, but
should we maybe
take this moment to grab refreshments or anything else? Like maybe take 5.
Yep, I like that. I'll clean my water pipe.
Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick then. And
oh my god, it's my cat. I love my cat. All right.
I've known that cat for so long. It feels like it's my cat by extension.
Frozen potatoes, put it in the air fryer. That's where to go. Also,
there. Okay, put yourself a little bit of that duty. Thanks. That's right. My guitar is in my right. My kitchen is in my mind. You know, this is why it's that way. Dojo Crucibles. Mine. No, this is not because of that. It's like that because of that. Coffee down there. Do not ever do. Ever. It's worse than that. That's bad. That's worse. God, there. No, I don't. I know what's a bit. I can't say that. Oh. How do you like mine? Yeah. What's everyone? Gravity Republics. It's awesome. Like duck. I love duck. Duck is great. Lamb is also pretty damn good. Also, when we went to give coffee last, I had duck. I know. You know what the fucking coffee like pro tip is? Yeah. Explain to everybody out the meals. Yeah, dude. Cook your fucking cook your duck. Put some fucking tier 1 pork belly. Pork belly is just fat, fucking bacon. Fat bacon. So cook your fat bacon and you crack your fucking duck breast in it. Okay. Oh my god, cat. Here. Let's stop that. From like real ingredients, dude. That's not like instant lamb shit or nothing. I was like, how to make
There's such thing as instant
Say something.
lamb.
All right, scared. Well, I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Then be it all.
Okay, now I'm back, so I don't have to have I can have my headphones on.
We heard bits and pieces of your conversation, sir.
Oh, I had to finish pieces of dinner. Like, so the lamb is done, so I had to throw the fucking vegetables in the micro, and because they're like cheese sauce veggies that you microwave, and then like the potatoes in the air fryer because they're like potatoes and you air fry them. And then I'm letting the Lego lamb set. But while I'm letting it set, I cut a piece off just to make sure it was properly like awesome. And it's, you know, it kicks the ass of the unrighteous.
Nice. As it should.
As it should. I agree. I made the right choice. I was like, I forgot to get rosemary, and I forgot to tell them to get rosemary when they went to the grocery. So I'm like, I have most of the ingredients for Saison. I'm just going to make Saison. And then I was like, shit, I don't have one of the ingredients for Saison. So I went to the store and I bought literally 90% of the ingredients for Saison just at the store so I could just throw it together. And I ended up with almost like 2 cups of proper Puerto Rican Saison. And then I just used that to essentially encrust this leg of lamb, this 5-pound leg of lamb, with Saison. I did. I like just packed it on there. And then I roasted it, and then after a while, I turned it, and it was looking dry. So I had like, I don't know, about half a cup of wine that I hadn't drunk in a bottle of wine that was left over, and I just grabbed that and just poured it on top so it had some moisture. That worked out. And then later I did the same thing with some like water and shoyu that I have. Because again, it was looking dry, so I'm like, have a little water. Boom, boom. So there it goes. And then now it's done, and it's fucking amazing. It's ass kicking. Super delicious. Well done.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Let's get back to eating bits.
I am back, and my cat meows at me.
Indeed.
I have fed you though, Captain. I will give you maybe a little bit of dry food right before I go to bed. You've had a can of wet salmon.
Checking it.
I know. Rich in fatty omega acids.
Indeed.
Good for her coat and throat. I low-key want one of these heads. Is this area particularly watched upon? Like, weren't people asking questions of the heads, or were they just talking amongst themselves?
No, there was somebody who was hanging out by the head.
Damn it. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to steal one of these and then hang it off my belt and ask it questions like Ymir.
Indeed.
You know about that? Odin has the severed head of some wise guy, and he asks some questions, and it whispers truths to him. Ancient knowledge.
If I'm not mistaken, Yasuo is not overly fond of the head on occasion. Like he's done some really not nice things to the head.
Yeah, because the head whispers truths to him, and Odin is the god of victory and war. Well, many different aspects of war, but he's a trickster god of war and victory, and he doesn't like losing. He's actually way more akin to Marvel Thor than people realize. Actual canon Odin. More like a comic superhero.
Oh, I see.
He says over the fire as he passes the large pipe.
Well, I mean, just some of the shit that he does is ridiculous, and he even, like, at some points legitimately says, it's better for me to act petty right here for the long run, so the way that people think about me is this way. So he'll act petty because it's good for him to act petty, which is just honestly petty.
This is tangential but related. There's a pin. I found a big square pin that's Ghost Rider. It's in my car, and I meant to put it into the package that I may or may not have sent to Snipe Hunter, but I didn't. Didn't go into that package. Now it's still in my car, but the package is on its way to Meade, Colorado.
Neat.
Anyway.
By the way, just so that I put that or labeled that in my inventory correctly, it is a golden fly pin.
Your mom's a golden fly pin.
Yeah. Though actually it's
Brooch?
more like a brooch, yeah. Also
Okay.
it turns out it's not actually golden, it's brass.
Okay, I like brass too. I'm still gonna wear it proudly. That's BRASS.
I'm here to say real quick.
Fly brooch.
Lego kits are more complicated than a particular level of Gunpla kits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, they both have a scaling difficulty curve.
They do. They really do. It depends on which one you're going.
I'm just saying. I thought I don't know. This particular Lego kit is far more complicated than
Which kid is it?
it's the Lucky Cat.
Bakaneko.
Yeah. Lucky
Ah, gotcha.
But
Anybody talk? Oh, sorry.
recently, no, don't worry. No, recently I did a Hello Kitty / Gundam. What's the one? He's number 2. Whatever. He's got the little red dot in the middle of his face.
You might be able to fit that underneath your feet.
Dude, Verde would totally know who I'm talking about.
Um,
But I did the Hello
the
Kitty.
elite one or whatever.
Yeah, and you can like combine them and make the Hello Kitty as the as the Robo Trooper, right? But I didn't. Then I kept them apart. But anyway, that was pretty complicated, but not as complicated as this Lego kit. Anyway,
Anyway.
this Lego kit is complicated. Guys, oh okay, move. Oh, you're just gonna move me? All right. Thank you.
Right along.
I was gonna move myself over there, but moving right along.
Loose and fancy free.
LA, where are you going?
Okay. This flat wood plank bridge, which spans an arm of the lake, is lined on one side by rows of bullywug heads on wooden spikes. Center of the bridge, a small figure sits with its feet dangling over one side. The figure appears to be talking to itself in bemoaned tone. Then the severed bullywug heads nearby erupt in a cacophony of voices, some indignant, some sympathetic. A few in a more distant row yell, "What? I couldn't hear what they said."
Oh no. Are these like, do you want to go up or down?
They're helping heads? I don't think they're helping heads. No.
We're helping head.
Hello. I'm back. I'm sorry. I saw something.
Don't come in.
Saw something I didn't want to see. Yeah, we live in the city, man. That happens.
No, that wasn't what that. It wasn't that. No, I just built one of those cool wire shelves, and I'm trying to figure out how to Tetris it in my room.
Ah, gotcha.
It's a nice shape. Honestly, I should just do my laundry, which is currently hanging over one of the edges on the loft bed that I have.
You've heard me say it, but that's my favorite.
But it pushes
shelving in.
Yeah, that's why I said it's awesome. But anyway, because of the way that the clothes are hung, it pushes the shelf out about an inch from what would be perfectly flush with the ladder. So I think if I actually just stop being a lazy douche, that everything will actually fit and look nice.
That
is, I'm living with other people, so I should,
So I am
think
reminded,
about their space.
is it Arthur Dent's couch that gets stuck in the staircase?
It is. Because, rotated in a way that rotated it into the place that it is, but you can't rotate it out of.
Likewise, I learned very recently
couch?
about this.
No, it's Dirk Gently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dirk Gently's couch.
It's Dirk Gently.
Right. Yeah.
Also, I learned about this morbid case in Japan about a school teacher who got stuck in a septic tank.
Oh, nice. I mean, I guess that happens.
That'd be better that than the water tower at a hotel or an apartment
in Los Angeles.
But, yeah,
which has totally fucking happened.
Yep.
There's a documentary about it. It's pretty good.
Suppose they advertise their units as 100% less dead Jews.
Yeah. It's a little bit spooky, actually, too, because there's video of the person that ended up in the tank getting into an elevator, and she's acting like some weird shit's going on.
Right.
Like, it's a super spooky video.
Having a psychotic episode or something.
Maybe that there are many theories. This is literally like a pop
she's being followed. It looks like she feels. At least she acts.
People talk
She's
People have
being
talked
followed.
about this for years.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a like, yes, this is a whole rabbit hole you can go down. Like, this is a rabbit hole. It's pretty creepy and spooky. And if you want to,
Yep, that's what I'm
you can
saying.
go to Los Angeles and stay in that hotel.
Yep. Everybody's here though.
Hopefully, there's no corpses in the water.
Hope so.
I hope so. And no trace. No, 15 whatever, however many years old. Yeah, we're here.
People still talking to the heads.
I'm here.
No, I was just sitting here quietly because everyone else was talking.
Gotcha. Are people still talking to the heads? Is the scene pretty similar to what it was when I left the first time? Everybody else was here. Flatwood paint bridge with spans and arms of the lake is lined inside of rows of bullywug heads on wooden spikes. Small figure sits, feet dangling over one side. The figure appears to be talking to itself in bemoaned tones, but then severed bullywug heads nearby erupt in a cacophony of voices. Some indignant, the sympathetic. A few in the distant row yell, "What?" Couldn't hear what they said.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, shouldn't they announce us if we're coming in, or do we announce ourselves to the king?
Do we just walk slowly? Like,
well, what is your plan? I mean, right now you're staring at a bridge, and there is a. Hold on, let's see if I can add person.
Oh yeah, because my winged boar head is gone with my helmet. I'm wearing the scary boar mask.
Gotcha.
It's made out of hide. Yeah, it's
yeah. You're like Senraku-san from Shangri-La Foundation.
Yes.
Or Frontier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except instead of a bird, it's a boar's head. Yeah.
Well, that's what it was at first with the bucket helmet and shit, but that's been taken off. So now I've made a new face with the scary boar hide mask.
Gotcha.
I just popped holes in it, really, and then, sewed it up so it'd stick to my head.
Yep, I get it. Okay. That's a little grim, but okay. Yeah, so as you get a little bit closer, you realize that the what you first took as potentially some sort of child or perhaps a gnome is in fact a scarecrow. He's about 3 feet tall. His arms seem to be crab arms, from what you can tell. Like literally, like from a crab.
Yeah.
But a relatively large one. And he doesn't actually have a head. Sitting atop his shoulders is a gourd where a head would be.
Cute.
I guess the eyes will pop out.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
Oh.
Sitting on a branch, though. I don't know why the picture has him that way. He's sitting on the edge of the, sitting on the dock at the bay. Yeah.
Oh. Are you the one who would herald us in to see the king?
You calling out to him from 15 feet away or whatever?
I'm still walking forward, slowly.
Yikes.
Okay. As you approach the first of the heads, do you say anything? Do you do anything? Do you?
Any of you guys want to go on an adventure? Maybe I can ask the king to, part ways.
No, they say. The one closest to you says, as if the current king had the stomach for adventure.
Well, no. But do you guys want to go to adventure?
That's not like we can do much as we are, of course. You cad.
No, I would just sort of wear you as you are, and then have you say
Right.
things.
My day, we would have added your head to the walk for such taunting.
Oh, I'm not taunting you. I seriously want one of you for my collection.
He's a much stronger king than our current lordling.
Oh, wait, are you all kings?
Individually, they all echo, various forms of I, obviously, of course. What, you can't tell?
Oh, that is fantastic. How
Wall
do
of
I
woe.
get one of
It's
you?
a wall of woe, Verde. It's a wall of woe.
Oh, it's even better though. This is a direct lineage, a line from king to king.
Oh my
They have
god!
all of the
so?
wisdom of their past. This is
Holy
simply
shit!
quaint.
And they just sit on here. They just sit on
you-
here and talk shit. I bet they just. Sit
As
on here
you
and talk.
as you say lineage, most of them scoff. As if I would be related to any of these usurpers. Yeah.
Perfect. Yo, this is torture. This is fucking torture, isn't
Oh man,
it?
it's like having 5 Statler and Waldorfs. It's fantastic.
Oh, I love it.
This is
Oh,
this is what
there's
Seinfeld fans find in like heaven or something.
Apparently, there's more. Apparently, this is just a visual representation because there are more rows.
Oh yeah, there's
Right,
a lot
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is this is just 5
tag on.
among many Statler and Waldorfs.
Very funny.
Nose, the first one to touch their nose gets to go on an adventure with us. And then I look towards the scarecrow.
You can't tell if the scarecrow is looking at you or not.
I definitely tried those.
He hasn't said anything. But he also doesn't appear to be, threatening or anything. I mean, he's also like only like 3 feet tall. I think I mentioned that, right?
All right. So you got 2 claws. You got 2 claws, and there has to be some way for you to operate throughout this world. Can we operate on like a 1 clack for yes, 2 clacks for no? Do you need me to carve a mouth out for you or something? Can I go see the king?
He raises one of his hands for a second, and he says, "What was it again? 1 clack for yes?"
That's perfect. You can actually speak.
He says, "As for seeing the king, that's I suppose."
You have quite a shapely figure. I like the profile.
The gourd that is its apparent head sort of tilts forward for a moment before tilting back. And he sort of mutters, "Thanks."
No problem.
Almost like a child embarrassed of receiving praise.
Is there anything I should know about talking to the king? Any way I should address them before I make a mess of myself?
Your Majesty.
Yeah. So like before the scarecrow can answer, the peanut gallery erupts with various declarations. Weak-willed, no spine, already plotting his demise, I hear.
Okay, so between you and me, Clapperjaw, if I were to abscond with one of those heads, would any of y'all be really upset?
That is fucking grim. Dude.
I really want one of them.
Are we gonna just carry him around for the rest of our days and it's just gonna talk?
Yes.
Holy
Would
shit!
would the head
Get the
keeping the
smallest
magic working even function if you take them?
I would hope so.
Is the magic in the stick or is it in the head? Like, if the head's enchanted, we can just take it anywhere we want, right?
I would hope it's in the head. If it's in the head, then I could just attach it to a nice little harness. I can give it treats.
You could mount it on your shoulder so you can see the things you see.
I will take investigation or arcana.
I was asking Clapperjaw.
Yeah, you get the what's the word I'm looking for? You get the impression that Clapperjaw.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that threw that.
wouldn't-
I'm glad I'm not the only one that threw that.
You get the impression that Clapperjaw maybe wouldn't like hang out. They don't seem very social, you know. They don't seem particularly like aggressive or alternately afraid, but they maybe it's the fact they have a gourd for a head, but they just don't seem particularly talkative. Almost even a little desultory, but like I said, they don't seem particularly like hostile, like they're not mad at you or anything. But when Clapperjaw does finally speak up again, he says, I wouldn't try taking one of those heads. I almost did once. Didn't get very far.
Oh. Ah.
Fair enough.
What happened?
There's some snickering from the peanut gallery as Clapperjaw says that, and you hear a few muttered comments in the back, like, damn right you didn't get that far, and what the hell did you think was gonna happen, and stupid.
I've seen him.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah, but Clapperjaw says, they're stuck fast, and well, they'll throw you in the lake if you try.
What? Really?
Does the lake turn people into other things, or is it cursed or something, or is it just a lake?
Oh, I mean, there's stuff in it, of course, but it's just a lake. But
there's stuff in it.
Have you smelled it? Gord tips forward again as if looking down at its clothes, and it says, with shaking its clawed hands, so it's not easy to clean a dirty shirt.
How deep is it?
I've never looked.
Do you think
deeper than I am tall? That's for sure.
Do you think I could get myself gifted one if I did enough hard work?
Gifted a head, Clapperjaw says.
Well, it would have to talk.
I wish it was that simple. And as you say, it would have to talk. He says, well, of course, all the best heads do.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
I wish it was that simple. Well.
So I wondered, would you want a standard-sized head or a shrunken head?
What?
Maybe a regular sized.
He says, well, if I had my druthers, I would have my head.
Druthers. Where did you learn the word druthers?
What happened to your
Makes
head?
sense.
Translation thing.
Where is your head?
He says, they took it. Those bastards took it.
Bastards took it.
They who?
The gourd kind of shakes side to side, and one of his claws points at Jory, and he says, look, just like him, in fact. You're not one of them, are you?
Fucking racism. That is fuck. Those are herringons. I am not a herringon. I am nothing like a herringon. They're a different kind of rabbit.
No. Give me.
He's a rabbit.
Did you perhaps have to partake in some kind of gourd?
Some fairy bullshit. They clearly did some fairy bullshit.
There's a beat where he doesn't say anything. And then he finally says, well, they made me drink, and then I am like this now.
Do you want it back?
Yeah.
He says, it's not that simple.
Y'all ever read fucking House Moving Castle? This is a House Moving Castle.
No. I take out the gourd, and I'm like, no, seriously, do you want it back?
Yeah. Oh, you're the best.
Yeah, you should probably put that away, but
No. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna go.
He has no mouth, and he must drink.
Oh no! How do you do that? Do we carve?
Did we put a hole in the gourd?
Yeah, I could put a hole in your mouth.
Like a tongue piercing or like a lip piercing? A hole in your
shit!
mouth?
Yeah, right. A little punk.
Sorry, I could put a hole in your gourd, and that could be your mouth.
Dude, I can put a hole in your gourd.
He says, no. No, and actually he reaches up with one of his claws and sort of like gingerly grabs the gourd and lifts it off his off his neck, and you realize it's literally just a gourd. On a stick, no less. Because he is literally a scarecrow.
Yeah.
Well,
he puts
I said, this is a Howl's Moving
back
Castle
down.
Shit.
He puts the gourd back down and he says, "Oh, the memory they could keep anyway. I assume that's what you're offering, because there's no way you've been to the hag."
No, not yet.
She's the one who's got my head.
It's a Clapperjaw. The memory of Clapperjaw. I'm gonna have to write that down. You're sure that I can keep that? You don't want it?
No, it's fine. I'd rather have my head. It was.
I'll try to find your head.
Really?
Yeah.
He cocks his gourd to the side. And he says,
Cox is gourd.
He says, "You can't miss it. It's the most magnificent head. Antlers, the size of my clackers."
Wow.
He says,
I mean, fucking wow.
Yep. He says, "Easily an 18-point stag."
All right. But that's better than what I was thinking, because gosh, that got weird real quick.
What were you thinking?
I mean,
I don't even want to know, actually. Never mind.
no.
Well, do you mind if we scoot past you so we can see the king?
It's your business if you want to see the king, he says as he gates by. But if you do find my head, I'll pay you for it.
You already have for permission to drink from this here
He's gonna
thing.
pay us for head. He's gonna pay us for head.
That's funny. Thank you. But don't interrupt me. For permission to partake of your memory, I'll try to find your head. No payment needed.
Oh, he says, that's great. Thank you, friend. I'll be right here. Most days.
It's the law of the land. And I give him a good head bow.
Good head.
You can't tell if he sees it or not as he skips away. But he does seem to have a sort of like jauntiness in his step. Wow, that just appeared out of nowhere. Where the hell did that come from?
He's targeting us.
He's jaunty now.
Damn. I really wish I could take one of these things.
Like, wish I could have a jauntiness.
Well, no, I really want one of these heads. They're regal. They're royal
I
head.
thought it'd be hilarious to carry one along on a stick or something, and then we could like talk to it.
Exactly.
It would be exhausting. Oh, by the way, Jory, with your 15,
that's your problem.
I'll wait till he gets back, I guess.
He's fucking. Gotta toast them. They gotta get toasted. Gotta have some toast.
Wow, this place is sure fancy.
Give me just a moment.
DM was just about to ask you a thing.
Okay, there's a ton of tokens on this map, so I have most of them turned off.
Oh, do you want me to back up before I go all the way up to that ring?
I mean, you probably want to back up to the start of the bridge, just so I can read you the description and stuff first. But you're absolutely fine.
Okay. I'm good with being like really up front and ahead and shit like that, but
Sorry, I should have turned all these guys back on before you guys got close. That was my bad. I did miss one. Damn it. Sorry, Watts. That tile is occupied. Go.
That's fine. Do what you need to.
Dreadful giggle. I love the color commentary in the. Back yet?
I am.
Okay. I forgot what I was going to ask you.
Me. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It wasn't super important. I just literally forgot. So
I'm done. All of the food is made.
nice. Congratulations. Okay. So YOLO taking the lead. A grand marble gazebo stands atop a mound of soggy earth. White stone streaked green with algae. The support pillars have sunk into the muck unevenly so that the domed canopy now sits askew. Short steps ring the gazebo, leading to a raised floor where bullywugs dressed in shabby clothing lounge on pillows. Among them, a harpist sends forth delicate notes that might mingle with the murmured croaking of the gathered nobles. On a dais, a flabby bullywug wearing a crown of woven lily flowers sits on an ornate throne with his legs folded under him. He has a large leather-bound book open across his lap, mouthing the words he reads on the page. Without looking up, he says, "Have you no herald to announce your presence before King Gullop the 19th?" He slams the book closed as if to punctuate his question regarding you for the first time.
Aha.
I will act.
Guards standing
Are you
going to
stunt Harold, YOLO?
to attention and ready their weapons.
Are you gonna stunt Harold, YOLO?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I was gonna do it. I have experience, but if you're gonna do it, do it.
So we have a little whisper, and I say, "My lord, I did not wish to speak without permission. 'Tis would be disrespect to one of your honor. We are heroes from another land, and yet brought to be heroes of that other land from yet another. And here we have come hereafter to your mighty kingdom. I am Yolo, Miguel of the Verde. This is Jory Diddlington. Balin is in the behind, and Watson.
Behind.
Watson and Phelan, they are
I do a big swoopy
our
bow.
wards, for they are mighty cooks who wish to spread hospitality and joy throughout the lands. Learning.
That's my name. I do the big bow, big swoopy bow, and I'm trying to hide my laugh. I'm laughing, but I have a rabbit face, so it's cool.
Learning of culinary delights from every culture and spreading there too. And I sort of gesture to let Phelan or Watson step up, because they are the mighty cooks and you are my wards. I'm sort of setting you guys up as,
I see what's happening here.
cooler than me and
Here, I'll
Jory.
step aside here. Yeah, well, I'm here with you. You and I are the heralds, right? Like we're
Oh, we're muscle. That's how I kind of wanted to set it up.
exactly.
They're
I
the
heavily
mighty.
bow when you introduced me.
They're the cooks,
I feel you.
the studious ones, chefs.
Okay. As you finish your introduction, King Gullop sort of nods in a what's the best way to put it? He nods in a way that seems to imply that he's saying, good enough, I suppose.
Okay.
And he says, "Well, at least you've got some common decency then. So tell me, what what brings you to my court?
If Phelan and Watson don't say anything and let me speak, I will say, once again, Your Majesty, the mighty chefs before me wish to spread hospitality and hone their craft. They wish to sharpen their blades and to make dishes worthy of your regalness.
Indeed. I am.
What just happened to the image? Like it went all sorts of white out.
Is it the fog? There's a rolling fog.
No, like everything faded out and went weird.
Did it come back?
No, it's still like
Did the app freeze for you? That sounds like it might have frozen.
no. I'm able to interact and move things, but it's like it went from like 80% visibility down to like 20% visibility, like on the.
Weird.
Just thick fog, man.
Yeah, I mean there is an animated fog layer, but on my screen it's not that bad. I'm sure that's not network synced though. So
Yeah.
Fair.
It's gotten
just wait.
pretty goddamn bad for me sometimes. Right now, it's luckily kind of clear.
yeah, I was gonna say there are moments where it will roll in like that.
I'll just wait for the
Oh, wow.
clouds to
Speak of the devil. Yeah, this is really bad.
Sorry for the derailment.
I am Phalian Embermoon. I come from a land you've never heard of, from a people you've never heard of, and our specialty was to learn how all various creatures perceive food and taste and flavor and texture and all of the components of everything that they would eat and want to eat in order to be able to create recipes that are the most appealing to creatures of all varieties. Now, while a lot of this was more focused on everything from common frogs and toads from our homelands and beyond to salamanders and much larger reptiles to birds, owls, bats, fish, sharks, all such creatures, all and much more, cats, dogs, wolves. We've eaten and documented so very much, and it helps us in making the foods that everybody enjoys. In fact, many of them are so good that they actually serve both the beasts that they were served for as well as normal folk like you and I. But beyond that, being able to taste as other people's has given me so much more culinary insight into how others may perceive taste and texture based on their mouth and their properties and what sorts of things that they would normally consume. And with that, I more than humbly offer my services and abilities to help learn from what your cooks are doing and their culinary processes and teach them more of the various techniques that I've learned, as well as seeing how recipes can be adapted and modified for different properties, different flavors, different textures, different means and ways that even a worldly king such as yourself would find truly new and novel.
Well, anything to demonstrate your skill?
Oh, a live demonstration would certainly be the best. Before I do something like that, I would have to ask though, what is the sort of fare that you have available, such that I can prepare it here in front of you so that you can see that it is being done.
Watson is a traveling kitchen.
Ah, yes. Well, Watson, you do have all those tools, but I mean more like, is there perhaps a certain fish or a shelled creature that you have readily available that I can begin to work with?
We seek your preferred fare to properly honor you.
Absolutely.
He points to one of the bullywugs that are lounging about around him. He says, "Well, you heard the man. Show him what we've caught today." The bullywug.
I'm so glad he wasn't like, we eat those.
Yep, what we eat, Watsons. No. The bullywog approaches you, and he sort of like gestures for you to follow. And he takes you around the gazebo if you do,
Yep.
wherein there are several baskets, sort of half buried in the muck, perhaps as an insulator, at the shoreline. And he opens two of them to reveal a basket full of some sort of shellfish. You would guess a kind of oyster, judging from the shape of the shell and its color. But probably a freshwater variant, like nothing that you would typically cook with for humans, you know?
Right.
And then the other one seems to be a collection of various dead snails, locusts, centipedes, grubs, and other insects.
Ooh. How big are the grubs?
Some of them are pretty decently sized, like, maybe even like 4.5, 5 inches long and a half an inch across. But most of them are like mealworm size, pretty small.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is
Giopini? No, just
no. We're gonna use. Is there
Okay.
anything like leafy or starchy? Or are there any like kelps or greens or anything like that among the baskets?
Not particularly. It doesn't seem like that's the normal part of their diet.
Okay. Okay.
I want to say I have some of those ingredients in my satchel and such.
Digging
You could
around,
make
though,
a
you do
glass
find some
noodle,
like
Watson.
digging around. You do find some like crawdads and other freshwater crustaceans, though.
I think
You could make some water noodles out of the protein or the oil of the fish, and some agar if you have something similar to that, or magic.
I'm gonna go with a like a sort of flatbread made from ground up locusts and kind of fatty grubs. Toast that while don't know, these aren't the we're not gonna find like, pearls or anything like that in these bivalves, are we?
No, not that you've seen so far, at least.
Okay. I think I'm going to get maybe 3 or 4 of them, clean out the crap, dice them up nice and fine. Those are going to be used to make a kind of a broth base, like a you said they were clams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like a clam sort of base. Again, using a little bit of the trying to make like a roux out of the the locust flour and I guess it's grub butter at that point, and make like a not quite a chowder, but like some facsimile of like a creamy sauce or creamy soup or something, and that's going to be poured into the various shells that were left behind as like a bunch of little sippers.
Got it. Okay. Soup sliders.
So the soup sliders will then get the toasty bread broken up into like little square sort of pieces as best as possible, kind of roughly, and placed on each of the little soup sliders. So you have like a not a crustacean. No, a what's that damn thing that goes on? Crouton sort of thing.
Got it.
And so coming with all of that, and Watts, do you have any additions that you want to put on this one?
I'm liking the soup slider. That's a lot of savory. Do we want to put a little bit of sweet with it?
That's a good idea. What do you have in mind?
I'm trying not to. I don't really have.
I mean,
I'm trying to think what
we could cheat and throw in like one of the items from the carnival as like part of a sweetening agent and just mix that with some other stuff.
Well, I do have some sugar-covered mushrooms.
No, I would definitely want to actually keep it to things that they would be able to replicate, and so I think that'd be cheating. So what would we be able to have here and available?
Oh yeah, what about those? So you got a whole bunch of different mushrooms from the encounter with all those fucking mushrooms. Didn't some of those like button mushrooms, weren't they sweet?
We're wanting to keep them with what they could find locally, so they can replicate it. So they can enjoy this meal.
Those were actually like manufactured. Those weren't just sweet mushrooms.
Oh no, it's that I think, are we talking about the ones from the mushroom cave? Because they grew in the mushroom cave, they didn't grow here.
Yeah, I'm saying that if we give them one of the mushrooms that we put in there, they could probably replicate it because of this environment.
That's true. Sweet. Have we seen any sort of
not from here
flowers or anything along the way?
You really have not seen anything like that your whole time here. Like even all the vines and stuff you've seen have not been flowering.
How about shit, I don't know, shrimp brain paste, isn't that supposed to be sweet?
Dodo.
Pretty sure that's the sweet meat, ain't it?
It's flavorful, at least. So in the baskets that we were shown, was it all meats or was there any greens?
No all
greens.
Meats.
Okay.
Pretty clear they live off the lake,
Right, which makes sense.
Assuming all the courtiers are involved in watching this.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, while I've got those going, I think I'd also be just doing some using some of all. I guess I would ask of them what spices that they have available and to bring them forth. So what sort of things would they be able to present in that case? Or do they look at me like, spices? What are those?
No, if you ask for spices, they bring you exactly 3 things. One is a dried tree bark, kind of like cinnamon. The best way to describe the flavor, though, is probably, maybe if you squinted really hard and were very far away, you might mistake it for cinnamon.
I get you. I understand. It's something where it's
almost,
it's
but not entirely.
I can't believe it's not cinnamon. Okay, yeah, you got it. It's
I could very easily believe it's not cinnamon.
It's a little burny. It's a little peppery. It's got like a little bit of this like sort of flavor, but it's definitely not cinnamon.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Okay, yeah, I can work with that.
And then the other is a root that if you slice into it, you realize is very similar to ginger. May even be some kind of weird variant of ginger.
Okay, I dig it.
Oh, we could make something sweet with that ginger.
Definitely.
Get a little caramelization going on that. That could be a good topper.
Oh yeah.
I will stir the sugar pot for you if you want to, turn it into like super thick ginger sugar.
They don't have sugar, so we would definitely be trying to extract, I guess, the juice out and boil that down or something.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, while you guys focus on the real cooking, I'll start a third fire right over here, and I'll just stir that for you.
So that's all going. And then what was the other spice? The third one?
Oh, salt. Sorry.
Salt. Fantastic. So that gives us a lot to work with. So with those three, I think I'm going to make a few variants. I'm going to kind of toast a little bit of the cinnamon and ginger and use that for something a little like heartier that can withstand like a good hard fry and not be ruined by it. Likewise, something that's a little bit more on the delicate side. I'm going to give maybe more of like a light amount of cinnamon salt too, and untoasted cinnamon. And the other one would be something that isn't even cooked, going for more along the lines of like a cold sashimi, but the way it's being presented is that they're on fairly long skewers at long enough intervals that it's easy for them to bite them off individually. So along with the soup shooters with the crouton is this like ostentatiously long skewer for the little tidbits that are on it. And a few like six or eight of those or whatever to match the amount of shooters. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely doing like some floofy like 5-star bullshit here.
I hate your restaurant.
Yeah, I know you do because I charge a fucking top dollar for it.
Yep.
And I charge top dollar for it because the guy at the door who fucking greets you asks you if you want regular water or sparkling water. And when you're paused for no. And when you're paused for a second, they say, "Oh, the sparkling water is covered. It's just whatever you have the preference for." And then it's like, word? And it's like, okay, when you sit down, as soon as you've like used a fork or anything, immediately someone's swooping in. And so that's why you're paying fucking $100 a plate for that shit. Friendo. Or $100 a pre-fee for it or whatever.
Oh, wait, hold up for the story. I was a fucking judge at the fucking Cannabis Cup in 1990, was it 1999? I believe it was 1999, right? I, a dumbass American born and raised in Orange County, California, didn't realize that in Europe, you don't get water with your food. When you sit down at a restaurant table, you don't get water. But if you do, and they will ask you if you want some, and of course you say, yes, I'm an American, I want some water, because of course you do, right? they will bring you spa rote, or is it blow? It's blow. Spa blow.
Blow or splowro. Yeah.
Right, and they won't even ask you if you're like. They'll be like, "Want some water?" And you'll be like, "Yeah." And they'll bring you spa blow, and then they'll charge you for a bottle of spa, which is this name brand of water, and blow, which is their blue, right? Spa blow. Spa blow is fucking bubbly, and spa rote is fucking still. And if you want water at your table, and you go, "Yeah, dude, give me some fucking water," and they're like, "Oh, cool." They are going to bring you spa rote every fucking time. And who wants fucking sparkling water?
You're
Like, gross.
My mother.
Heathen.
Gross.
My mother.
Spa
Do you
blow.
drink soda? Because if the answer is yes, you drink
No.
sparkling water.
Dude, I
It's just
only
flavored.
I mix soda with vodka. Soda is for mixing with vodka. I don't mix I don't drink fucking bubbly water just for the fun of it. It makes my stomach hurt and then I have to burp. Like, why? Why include the bubbles? Make a good tasty beverage and I will drink that and I will not have to burp. Why? Like, no, dude, I don't like bubbles. I mix that shit with my vodka, maybe. But like, I was like, "Oh, would you like some water?" Yes. Here's some water with bubbles in it. Fuck this. What the hell is this? Spa rote is what it is.
You know, ironically enough, I'm saying in character, I think perhaps mineral water is possible here. Do you think we could do that in the time
Spa
that we
rote,
have? Watson,
spa rote,
Taylor?
carbonation, spa blue, no carbonation. So I was correct. Yeah, and it's spa
You
blow.
know-
You just say, "Give me spa blow."
I
would like
think we
water,
could, but
spa
I'm not
blow.
sure if it would be appreciated. Because, well, we are where we are.
Indeed.
But I mean, the mineral water would be, good for them to drink.
I would be down
Party.
to sell. Let's sell them mineral water and tell them it's worth money. I did that when I lived
A
in South
good
Africa.
means to hydrate their cells.
I think if you were a paladin and you were selling water, you would break your oath.
I'm not that kind of paladin, dude.
I don't think it matters what kind of paladin you were.
Well, you're the dungeon master, so I guess I have to feel that. I have to be like, "You know what, guys?
What
I can't
what
sell
if I'm
people water."
like a
This
vengeance
reminds me of my
paladin
time as a tourist in
of
Ashland.
a
When
water
I used to
dealer?
do what I did. No, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I think even if you're Oath of Vengeance paladin, right? I think you have failed to uphold your oath if you took the time to be despicable enough to sell water.
I don't think I'm Oath of Vengeance though, right? I'm Oath of.
No, but what if you're
Weird.
swearing vengeance against is the people who are tapping into the sacred glacier, just draining it?
I have an
Global
Oath of
warming.
Vengeance against fucking Nestle.
Yeah. Exactly.
No. I think if
Company.
your oath is against Nestle, you're fine.
Yeah. No, my oath of vengeance, right, is because I come from the South Poles
But
where
if
the polar bears are my friends.
We're selling water. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, well, no,
Probably fair.
you
Probably fair.
if you're a paladin of vengeance, right, and all of the clean water is being tapped into from the Arctic, ice caps, or from let's say in Faerun, it's from Icewind Dale, they're tapping into the mountains up there, right? That I would try to take hold of their free enterprise of tapping water and then sell it, and then ruthlessly take control of their city, and then bring it to the ground financially as an act of vengeance. It's all the long-term plan. Selling water as an act of vengeance to destroy the people who would destroy nature, just to have a drink.
I don't know. I don't think that cuts it.
Yeah, okay. I tried.
That cuts it.
Wouldn't it technically depend upon who he swore the oath to?
The glacier. And the glacier is being tapped already, right? So I'm taking control of the product that was once a free enterprise being greedily tapped into, destroying the heart of nature. And
That would require the glacier to actually have a spirit to it.
Well,
so you must have been sworn.
Yeah, to be clear, what I'm saying is, much like Ceramorphosis in Baldur's Gate 3, there are acts and actions that have consequences that say may strip you of your soul. right? Selling water is one of those. And so without a soul, there is no way that you can have the heartfelt devotion to your oath that your powers stem from.
Interesting.
Wow. See what's happening.
Well,
What if I'm
okay, no, hold
selling
on, hold on,
water
hold
that
on,
I've
hold on, hold on, hold on,
purified
hold on, hold on,
in an area
hold on,
that's
hold on,
not
hold
has
on,
safe
hold on,
water?
hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on a second. So if you withhold the water, you just say no, that's okay. But if you sell it, that's where you draw the line, right? I just want to be clear.
Yeah. I think if you're denied water, you're probably an evil paladin, but those exist.
Correct.
Well, who are you denying it to? Like, if you're going along and you're in
What
a
if I'm just
city where
denying it to the
everybody has
feds?
access to water, and this wealthy person says, "You there, sir? Give me your water," and it's like, I'll sell it to you, rich man, and give the money to my duty or something. But like,
He said
no,
duty.
this is a city where like everybody's got access to flowing water, and just because I've got a water, a water skin full of properly boiled water or whatever.
No, what I'm hearing is that we can't go paladin, a vengeance of paladin, and also be an eco-terrorist.
No, you could be an eco-terrorist, but you can't sell water.
What if part of the eco-terrorism was introducing selling water in a medievalist kind of society where water is considered to be a free enterprise? In order to make it less profitable to tap into nature's reserve, thus being an act of vengeance for nature.
Right. No, I do understand the angle that you're approaching the problem from. I don't think that saves your soul.
Right. That's a hat.
I'm not selling water. I am selling the process by which to purify it.
Yeah.
That's a little different. I mean,
No, I'm just
that's more dependent on your oath, I think.
I'm just bringing things to balance, man.
Just like an oath,
they were
like an oath of
greedily
vengeance
tapping.
paladin couldn't knowingly give somebody tainted water, but an oath of vengeance paladin probably could. You know.
What if I only sold water to the rich and gave water to the poor?
Yes,
I'm not
that's
that kind of
I was
paladin,
going to that
man.
one. So anyway, Soggy Court.
Back to the.
We have
sorry
we
for
cooked
that diversion.
Cooked amazing meals here. Probably made some sort of a tea.
Do we need to like roll for it? Yeah. I'm definitely helping throughout the entire process. I'm a gaffer, bitch boy, chef, lineman.
Yep. Yes.
You're a great cooking assistant.
Stirred up the sugar extraction from the ginger root thing. Maybe added a tiny bit of cinnamon if they said so. Maybe they have a sample that has a little bit of cinnamon in it to see if they like that more than the stuff that's just ginger.
Yeah. So I think that realistically you're cooking under some challenging circumstance. The sun's going down, you're at the edge of a lake.
I built a bonfire.
We've got light
a
sources
pot of my own.
Oh no. Yeah, the problem isn't like lighting. It's more like temperature, conditions, right? Like it's it's just not the best time or place to cook a meal at.
Fucking long bonfire.
Right. All of that said, though, what skills does D&D give us for this? I suppose nature or medicine, maybe survival.
What about sleight of hand?
Don't they have a profession?
I can see
no,
what
they
you're
don't
saying.
have a
Like as a way to express technique. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would be using
I'm
cook's
not useful for
utensils. Do you
survival
have
or
a
flat.
do you have a little thing for cook's utensils and its corresponding
Exactly.
attribute?
Tools items. You want a tools items? Because like I have a sleight of hand roll, but that's not right for me. I don't think.
Cooking utensils would probably be dex, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, I roll a mediocre nature roll.
Yeah. Were you actually cooking though? So I think you're actually fine.
No, I was just trying to come up with good advice, and apparently I did not. And I was like, never mind. You
You
guys
should like
do what you
cook
gotta
that.
do what you're gonna do. You guys are
So
all right.
would it be like dex with advantage?
Well, if you're just rolling straight tools, then it's going to be whatever your dex bonus is plus proficiency, so plus your proficiency bonus, and then a d20.
Okay, so +4. That's not bad. Do I have any skill that seems like it'd be more relevant than?
You said survival, medicine, or sleight of hand?
Yeah,
I take all of those. Nature too, I suppose, depending, like, because you're kind of.
Oh, I'll use survival.
Go for it, man.
Yeah. Again, really, I don't know. I don't have good information for you. Really, don't do what I'm saying.
This is why I am lying.
Right.
Do what I'm saying.
Just stirring pots and cutting things up. Honestly, I say the reason why they have proficiency in the first place is because I'm helping.
Right.
Poorly. I'm helping poorly.
They're skilled, to be honest.
I know.
But yeah, well, it seems like you manage it pretty well, Faerly.
Oh no, Watson.
Wow. Okay. Wow, Watts.
I've brewed ale under worse conditions.
Yeah, I mean,
wait, isn't there a thing I can do?
I mean, an 11 is still decent, so I think you're fine. But yeah, but
I got a second opinion coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Is that
actually, since I'm doing it with
you,
tools,
fam.
with plus advantage, or I forget.
Tools is going to be whatever your attribute bonus is plus your proficiency bonus. So your 11 was actually like a 13, I think, because I don't think you put your proficiency bonus in there.
Gotcha. Where do I see my proficiency bonus?
I was going to say on the main tab, but I'm not sure.
See, I was actually a way better line chef.
Yeah, it's next to class and level at the top under inspiration.
Oh, yep, there it is. Yep, prof.
Yep,
totally.
There we go. Okay. The dice don't love me tonight.
Yeah, that's a much better contribution, YOLO. I think that between that and Watts' original 13, you definitely have covered. But I also do think that the main star of the event is Faerly, which makes sense though, because you're mostly cooking entrees or aperitifs rather than like desserts, which is more Watts' specialty. So yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Also, I'm using magic at the same time with a little bit of performance because of my class traits.
You as a result of all of it, you have certainly managed to pull off like Iron Chef level results.
American or Japanese?
I think either in this particular case, though I was thinking specifically Japanese to be.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
But they are bullywugs, so I don't know how much of the bursting of flavors on their tongues will bring back their memories of childhood spent chasing crawdads in the ditch.
And the
But-
moonlight and the sun, riding waves of, giant turtle backs or something like that,
You
naked.
totally right. You totally get me. But that said, you could tell even before you have delivered these dishes that they're pretty fucking ace. So you feel pretty confident in the results.
Worked better than I could have expected.
So I guess the real question is, how do you want to present?
I will be the silent waiter, I suppose. The king always gets served first. I'm just
Indeed.
dead, and thus I can't, breathe, or I don't need to breathe. And so I can stand the utmost still while you
Right.
guys present the food. Right? So I'll be your walking table.
I would probably have asked what
Right.
sorts of plates and dishware they have available for service somewhere along the process.
Oh yeah, and there are indeed plates of. I don't know that calling them fine china is fair, but there are plates that are obviously meant to be fine china.
I'm going to stick
your
near
eye.
YOLO for most of the time, just being who I am.
Yeah, to your eye, they're more like Pier 1 imports or world market than fine china.
They have knockoff. They have knockoff nice.
Oh my god!
That's nicer than I expected. I just kind of figured that they were gonna, dig up the mud from around the area and turn that into the
No, I love it.
the
I
local
love that they have
pottery,
knockoff
but
nice shit.
yeah,
That makes
knockoff
me-
nice shit works.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I figured it was just gonna be locally sourced mud, the clay flow from the area.
Is Snoodle like a pet dog?
Noodle is like a pet baby alligator.
Okay, no, I just wanted to
Yeah, it's just narrow stout, so alligator.
make sure it was a pet and not like a person or something.
No.
Yeah, I haven't
That's
actually popped open Stoodle's stat block to see what he's categorized as, but he is like I said, it's like an alligator. I don't know if he's like a fey alligator or just a straight alligator though.
Right.
I personally would default to faerly in presentation. He's way better at that than I am. I'm torn though. Do we want to serve the king the entire selection on one tray and hand out everyone else's individually as we go through, or do you just want to pass one at a time?
No, king gets served first and gets to eat first, and then everybody else gets to have food. I've served nobility at a place before.
Yeah. If y'all don't object, y'all get that this place is foggy, so I'm gonna turn off the fog.
Yeah, no problem. It was halfway fog and halfway like
Pain
how
in
much of
my
this is the
ass.
smoke from the fucking building
Right.
still lingering because it's cold as balls and
It's
there's
just-
not enough wind.
Yeah, no, it's just
That-
starting to fucking irritate me. So I appreciate their attempt at special effects, but I'm done.
That whole
It was
like
pretty good.
4th of
liked it.
July
but I
low
am
fog after the fireworks sort of thing
Right.
because of the smoke. Yeah, no, that was seeing both layers taken off and it looking clearer here. Yeah, it definitely looks a lot more colorful.
Right.
It was great.
It doesn't.
All right, so you
Everything
were gonna
doesn't have to
serve the
look
king
like
first.
a 2010 first-person shooter.
Right.
So I'm waiting for
Yeah.
Phalian so he can step next to me and present, explain what I'm serving to the king.
Yeah, I would walk up alongside with him and go through and explain each of the things, kind of as the king kind of eyes them, but also making it appear as if it's done in a very like curated and organized sort of manner. So going one by one through the things, kind of relative to what the temperature of everything is when it's served, and how long we want to relatively allow it to stay hanging out before it's not as good as it ought to be, and just trying to time everything as best as possible for single service plate sort of thing. Well, someone's trying to talk to me.
Yeah, he seems to be entranced by your description as you present each piece. Having begun service to the king, are the rest of you standing by? Are you passing out food to other people? What is your plan here?
I'm currently next to the main set of food, getting it, finishing up the plating for everything. That way, we can distribute the rest of the food to the rest of the guests. I mean, the rest of the court once the king has had his.
Okay. Well, in that case, Phalian, the king basically scarfs down each individual course as you explain it, nodding approvingly, with the occasional burp here and there. He seems quite taken with it. The rest of the court kind of looks on enviously. As you are serving Yolo, there is a moment where the fly pin that you are wearing flaps its wings fast enough to actually buzz like a fly. When it does, the king's eye that is closest to you swivels independent of the other to focus on it rapidly, much like a turret might target a test subject in a Portal game. Actually, faster than that. Get that back. But yeah,
Give me my majesty. Does this annoy you?
he actually stops eating to take a moment to say, no. Quite interesting to see you wearing that. That's a token given to members of the Soggy Court, but I had not been informed that you had joined the court.
It
Tell
was.
me, where did you receive that pin?
You see the workshop down yonder past the bridge and the heads that are so delightfully entertaining. There was a small accident and or fire, and I was quickly upon the scene, and I helped. And this was given to me by a duke, I believe. Duke Icamus?
Icrind.
Icrind. Icrind. Yes.
He nods and he says, "Ah, yes, my knights did inform me that there was an issue at the balloon works. You were there to help deal with that mess, were you?"
But of course, we were coming in and through to see you in the court, to serve you a meal and learn of your culture. But we saw a distressed individual, and we stopped to help.
Noble. Quite noble, he says.
It's only meet, right, and proper to do so. We're guests, after all.
Looking you over appraisingly, he says, well, I appreciate that you've already been of service to the court. I have to say, that kind of attitude, I'd be happy to call you a member of this court.
I am humbled, Your Majesty. Thank you.
He nods, seemingly dismissively. However, you notice that he's still tracking you with that eye of his.
Indeed.
He motions to Balian to continue and enjoys his meal.
I pretend not to notice. I'm not supposed to be looking at the king.
Excellent, good job.
Oh, no worries. I was just saying that the king finished his meal and enjoyed it. So you are free to serve the rest of the court. Right, I get it.
And while
Yeah,
that happens, do we serve the king his dessert with the ginger?
My mind just blanked on the dessert. My mind just blanked on oh, for the sweet love. I am sorry.
I made a shit ton of sugar. What is it? Syrup.
Right, we would serve the syrup on
syrup,
top
yep.
of something, though. My mind blanked on what we would serve it on.
Just make drops, make candy, something for them to suck on.
That'd be the easiest one, and we would have had enough time to boil it to the point where we could make rock candy.
Yeah, where you
like
cast it and cool it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is like you have tools for this, so you could reasonably argue that you have tools that could withstand the heat, but also cool the thing. Maybe with
Certainly enough to make
absolutely.
a couple of candies for the folks here. Like,
Yeah. Hence the reason why I said drops, because they could literally be like out in that shape, and then we have to drop them on a metal tray or something.
Right.
Or like, yeah, or cold stone. Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we can also make a taffy, depending.
Yeah. Pull it enough. I mean, I am undead. My arms. I mean, they do seem to tire. That's really weird.
Do you get tired or not?
That
Kind
raises questions of your actual undead state, but that's for a conversation for another day.
It's not like I feel lactic acid in my muscles. I'm yeah.
So he's only mostly undead. Probably owes you money.
Most.
You said love. No, it's an MLT.
All right, gentlemen. It is 1 a.m. So I don't know how much more of this I have in me tonight, if I'm being honest.
This I can take. Cool.
I say we just finished the meal. We can call it here and continue from here next time.
Indeed.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's perfect.
Those